a.m. through Sunday, 10 a.m. for the following week's games. 15 players will score cash or free play. You'll love Zenith Steakhouse, awarded for excellence by Wine Spectator, the D. Rona Award for Excellence, and Open Table Diner's Choice Award.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Have you noticed all of a sudden there's a bunch of lawyers saying they're going to fight for you? Yeah, until you read the fine print below them. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. If you look closely at that fine print, you'll see not an attorney in this state or not a law firm.
You never trust your future in the hands of someone other than a serious, experienced trial lawyer. And you definitely can't trust someone who won't even tell you who they are.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long, whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside. This is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Tired of running out of hot water? Right now at Precision Air and Plumbing, get 25% off a tankless or hybrid water heater. Systems that deliver hot water on demand, take up less space, and cut down on energy costs. It's efficient, reliable, and perfect for Arizona homes. And with flexible financing options, it's more affordable than ever. Make the precision decision today and call us at 602-765-HIKE.
Precision decision with Precision Air.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right? Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For Total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true.
You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7?
And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps with my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Rallying for a walk-off winner last night. Diamondbacks stay just 1.5 games out of the third and final playoff spot in the National League. Welcome in the Wednesday edition of the Lunch Break right here on KDUS AM 1060. You can always stream us on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can watch the program over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. The Diamondbacks dug themselves an early deficit last night, down 4-0 before they got an at-bat. Didn't matter, though, because they win 6-5 via a walk-off winner, and that is where we will start today's program.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I mean, you all knew what we were going to do to open the show. I mean, you knew. I mean, You've been joining the show enough to know. I mean, come on. I'm going to do it one more time. I mean, Jordan Lawler with the walk-off. I don't care that it was a fielder's choice, basically. I don't care.
Whoa. They gave him credit for the single.
They gave him the credit for the infield hit. Jordan Lawler gets himself his first career walk-off. Diamondbacks win 6-5. And you just cherry on top? Yeah, just hit it one more time. I watched it happen, and I thought to myself, boy, we are going to be insufferable tomorrow on the program. It was my immediate thought when he got the hit. It was like, we're going to celebrate the victory, but you and I in particular are going to be insufferable.
He came up to the plate, and I just started laughing. Like, just kind of like chuckled to myself.
It's a good moment for Jordan Lawler. Wasn't a double into the gap, wasn't a walk-off grand slam, but guess what? No one's going to really care about the specifics. They're going to care about the result, and the result was an infield single that scored Corbin Carroll. The Diamondbacks win. More importantly, with the win last night, they get themselves the tiebreaker over the San Francisco Giants. Now, they couldn't get the help that they needed from the Padres, but they stay just 1.5 games back of the New York Mets with now, 10 games left to play for the Diamondbacks. They get started about an hour and a half from now with the finale of that series with the Giants. So they could put some pressure on the Mets going into their matchup tonight against the Padres. With a win, the Mets will know that they will only have a 1-game lead at the start of their game this evening. And I kind of want to talk about the Mets beating the Padres last night and what it means overall, because I don't want the scoreboard watching to negate what's going on right now, because it can be a little frustrating to have the emotional win that the Diamondbacks had last night, and the Padres were complete no-shows. Michael King was a no-show last night for the Padres. The Mets won that game comfortably, and it can be frustrating knowing that you need help from other teams, knowing that you don't control your own fate here. You're going to need another team to lose in order for you to gain ground, and it not happen. It can kind of take a little of the air out of the room for what was a great moment last night, and I don't want that to be the case. And so I'm going to use today as a day to tell everybody, enjoy this. Whatever happens here, whatever the end result is, they finish this Cinderella story off and they play in the wild card round and we're partying like it's 2023 again. Or this run does come up short. They're 7.8% chances of making the postseason. That's what they were going into play yesterday. Fall short. Don't allow that to ruin what this is and what this is going to be over the next 10 games. This is fun. This is what baseball and sports are supposed to be about. Your team late in the season going on that run. Being in contention. It's not how you would have written the script in March. It's not how you would have written the script in April or May. You would have expected a more competitive team, a team that maybe is in the Padres position, trying to compete with the Dodgers for the top of the division. I said before the year that that's what they could do. So this is not the script I thought the team would follow. But as I said yesterday, it doesn't matter what the script is. What matters is the point in the script that we're at right now. And the point in the script that we're at right now is the Diamondbacks are playing their best baseball of the season. They're playing it at the absolute perfect time. And whether or not they complete this comeback or it falls short, the result should not matter. This team showed all of us something here since July 31st. I believe a little bit after the deadline, I warned everybody, let's not react too strongly to results that we see in September, right? The first month, last month of the season, you don't put too much stock into what you see early in a year and late in a year. Early in the year, there's so much time for teams to improve. Late in the year, if you're playing teams that have given up, it's just harder to evaluate those results. But this team, since July 31st, for 2 months now, have been playing their best brand of baseball. And it has put them in a position to where if they get some help from the San Diego Padres, if they're able to survive this gauntlet of a schedule, you got the Phillies coming up over the weekend right after this series with the Giants. You have the Dodgers on the schedule as well. You have the Padres to close out the year. After today, you have 9 games remaining, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres. If you make it into the postseason, you are going to earn it. But I don't want those opponents and the likelihood of this team making the playoffs still being on the smaller end to take away what this team is doing. This team is giving you the most important thing that, as a fan, you could ask for. They're giving you hope for the future. They're giving you hope for 2026 that you probably didn't think existed when the trade deadline came and went. Did you feel hopeful on July 31st when Eugenio Suarez was traded? Did you feel hopeful when Merrill Kelly was traded? Did you feel hopeful when Josh Naylor was traded? Did you feel hopeful about the future? I know the answer. It's a rhetorical question because I saw the tweets. We took the phone calls. We had the comments on social media. We saw it every single day for about a week or two post the deadline. Nobody had hope about the future. Already, 2025 wasn't even done yet, and people were looking to 2027. They were already giving up on 2026. And credit to this organization, these players, these coaches, this team, because I think what they have taught all of us here at the end of this year is to not give up on 2026 just yet. 2026 can be just as fun as this year because the players that are at the middle of what we're seeing right now, sans Zach Gallen, are back on this team next year. They're giving you hope. Embrace it. I don't know what's going to happen here over the next 10 games. The likelihood of them making the playoffs is still small, but I don't want them missing the playoffs and this run falling short to deflate what has been an awesome 2 months for this baseball team.
Enjoy it, right? Like, don't just sit there and be like, man, what could have been. Enjoy this young team putting together a little bit of a run. And you're right. The chances they make it are still slim. But don't let that make you not enjoy what's going on with this baseball team and how well they've played and where they were a month and a half ago to where they are now. I mean, we're in serious contention where if the Diamondbacks win tonight and the Mets lose, I mean, not even tonight, today, right? If the Diamondbacks win today before the Mets start, they're a half game back.
If the
a game back.
Diamondbacks win today, they will be a game back when the Mets start their second game of their 3-game series with San Diego later on today. If they win and the Mets lose tonight, it will be a half game going into the Diamondbacks taking on the Phillies and the Mets finishing up their series with the Padres on Thursday. So by the time you win today, by the time you next play, there's a chance you could be statistically tied for that third and final wild card spot. It's possible.
Enjoy it. Enjoy that as a fan. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? Probably not. I think this schedule's tough.
9.7% chance after last night's win. So it was 7.8 going into play last night, up to 9.7% right now, according to ESPN.
And what was it last week? 1?
It was like 1%. Yeah, it was very low.
So just enjoy this time. It's kind of all. It's the biggest point is this is a young baseball team who's playing really well. And Jordan Lawler and Blaze Alexander, those guys give you things to be excited about.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? This is not a group right now that is doing this with smoke and mirrors, that is doing this with players that are not going to be here next year. Jordan Lawler, the hero last night, going to be here next year. Blaze Alexander, who's been a hero for the last 2 months, going to be here next year. Corbin Carroll, going to be here next year. Ketel Marte, I think we can put that to bed, going to be here next year. Geraldo Perdomo, going to be here next year. Gabby Moreno, going to be here next year. I mean, all of these players that are contributing, all of these pieces, the newly reformed bullpen, most of those pieces are going to probably stick around for next season.
Going to be here. Right?
So you're watching a group that you can believe and buy into because not only is what they're doing right now fun, but there's hope for the future. This isn't a bunch of veterans that are going to hit free agency and the Diamondbacks are going to be unable to afford to bring them back next year. I could understand you being a little skeptical if that was the case, but all of these players are going to be here. What do we say? Expectations minus reality equals disappointment. As long as you set the expectations for the next 10 games accordingly, for this run accordingly, you're not going to be disappointed. You are just going to be able to enjoy this ride. A ride that, let's face it, you didn't expect to be on right now. You got to Disney World. You were told that the ride was closed. You were walking around the park. You were enjoying yourself. And you found out. Ride's open. They were able to get it fixed. It's back. You get over there and you hop on the line. You're excited. You know that there's a chance it could break down again and you might not be able to ride it, but you're in line. You were told that the ride wasn't open at all today. It's open for right now. Get online, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey that this team is taking you on, because this is a bad year for this team. Look where they're at. 77-75, 1.5 games out of a playoff spot. You just have to enjoy it. To enjoy it for what it is. And the players, you can tell that they feel it. Down 4-0 last night. Adrian Del Castillo hits a big 3-run home run to get them back into the game.
Yeah, they just have a feel right now of they're never out of it. They've always had that a little just because the offense.
It's the answer backs, right? It's the thing they had in 23. It's the thing they had in 24. This ability to always be able to deliver the counterpunch. They're down 4-0 last night. You feel like that could have been it right there. You win the first game of the series. You're looking up at the scoreboard. You know that the Mets are up big on the Padres. You're going to lose this game. The Giants are going to go back in front of you. You're going to lose a game on the Mets. It was all right there in front of you to completely fall apart. It didn't. Castillo hits the 2-run homer. You'll rally for 2 in the 5th to make it 5-5, and Lawler walks it off in the 9th inning of the game last night. You win 6-5. Final game of the season series with the Giants a little bit later on this afternoon, and you win this one, and you apply maximum pressure on the Mets going into their game tonight. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy what you are getting a chance to watch, because this was not a guarantee on July 31st. Was not. Didn't expect this to be the case, but they have been one of the best teams in baseball since July 31st. And I don't think this is Tigers-esque, what they did last year, but it's certainly getting pretty close. It's certainly starting to have a very similar feel to it, that you were sellers at the deadline, you traded all your big pieces, and you just went on this run. And I was skeptical of anybody being able to repeat what the Tigers did. And for a little bit there, it didn't feel like the Diamondbacks were even going to get close to this. Wild card came back to them a little bit in the form of the Mets not playing particularly well. And now they sit 1.5 games out. Keep winning, keep applying pressure, and let the chips fall where they may. You may be able to play good enough baseball, but the Mets just play a little bit better than you and you don't get in. And you know what? You'll be disappointed, but I think you just have to enjoy the ride. You have to enjoy the ride this team is taking you on. Want to hear from you today here on the show? 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is our final grades for the Arizona Cardinals in week 2. And for the second straight week, who's getting a slice of the victory pie? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and know CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a Water Watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
Fall savings have arrived at Mark Kia in Scottsdale. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV for just $99 a month for 24 months with $19.99 due at signing.
That's right, a brand new Kia for under $100 a month. Step up to an EV and save on maintenance, and monthly fuel bills for the average driver are 1/3 the cost of gas. All for just $100 a month.
The name to remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. $0 for deposit. Unit plus tax, title license, and 998 fee. Offer expires September 30th, 2025.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Hey, remember when the Miami Dolphins lost in week 1 and their head coach, Mike McDaniel, said, the good news is it can't get any worse? And my response was, it absolutely can get worse, and it will get worse. And, of course, it did when the Patriots snatched their souls to drop Miami to 0-2. And the boy genius now has absolutely no answers, no juice, no confidence, and none of that trademark nerd swagger. But don't take my word for it. Just check him out at the podium. The dude looks and sounds completely defeated and mentally checked out already.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly. And that is how you lose the game.
I'm never looking to take food off another person's table or advocate for a firing, but do the humane thing and put this dude out of his misery because he doesn't look like he wants to be there and they're not playing like they want him there. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowe's.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. Your way to stay locked in with everything we are doing here over at KDUS AM 1060. And you can take us with you on the go. Today, your last chance to get in to try to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Phillies this Saturday, September 20th. The way you get in on this, make sure you're registered and logged in on the KDUS AM 1060 app. Make sure you're listening over there, and you'll be entered in to win those 4-pack of tickets. Today, the last day for you to get in on that game this Saturday down at Chase Field. You can also get your tickets over at dbacks.com/SGT. For the second straight week, we get to hand out some victory slices of pie. We also have to give out our final grades for week 2. And I kind of want to do this in reverse order to the way we did it last week. I want to give out the victory pie first, and then we'll work to the individual grades. And producer Evan, I'm having a tough time with this one because I don't know necessarily who deserves the largest chunk of victory pie.
It's a weird week for the victory pie.
We have to give it out. They won the football game.
Hey, listen, everybody gets pie.
Right.
Everybody gets pie.
I just don't know who it should go to.
So last week, it was, correct me if I'm wrong here.
I don't have a great memory, so I'll probably get this wrong.
75% defense, 20% offense, 5% Trey Benson.
I believe now that you said it that way, I believe that's exactly the way we did it. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
75% for the defense, We gave the offense as a whole 20%, and then we carved out a little bit of a different section for just Trey Benson because he was great.
Yes. Is anybody going to get a slice of pie? Their own section.
Josh Sweat, strip sack.
I got a different name.
Calais Campbell probably
Yeah, I was going to say
deserves-
Calais Campbell deserves some pie.
Do we give Calais Campbell the 5% that we gave Trey Benson?
What if we did this? What if we said just the defensive front?
You want to give the whole defensive line
a slice of pie. Everybody -1 on the defensive front.
You know, how much? I got to tell you, the thing that's bothering me the most about this is I have to give some level of victory pie to the offense, and I'm not sure what number I'm comfortable giving them.
I can give you a number.
Because they only scored 20 points. Should they get 20%
Yes.
since the number of points that they scored?
I think that's fair. I think it should be 20%, maybe less to the offense. Here's the big thing. They came out, and if you want to go by the Kenny Dillingham middle eight philosophy, they were great.
Great in the middle eight.
They were great in the middle eight.
There's everything else
right
around
into half,
it.
right out of half. They did play make it, take it for 14 of their 20.
Everything else around the middle eight was not great.
Was not great.
All right, so we'll go 20% for the offense.
Yep.
Any individual offensive performances that we want to shout out here?
No.
Just very bluntly, no.
I
tend to agree with you.
I was going to say, is there anybody?
I mean, I have a whole segment planned for hour number 2 of the program about being concerned about the running game. So you can't I don't want to give anything to the running backs. Marv did not have a great game. Kyler didn't have a great individual game through the interception. So the offense is getting 20%. Now I've got 80 more percent to give out.
Yeah. Now
you want to give the defense credit, but they did give up a bunch of points.
Especially late in the game. Gosh.
You can't give the special teams credit for kicking all the field goals. They allowed the onside kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what we get for doing this. Doing this idea because now we're struggling.
Gosh, who gets a slice of the pie? I think Josh Sweat gets maybe 10%.
So we're going to give Josh Sweat
and Calais Campbell maybe 10%.
So we're going to give individual players 10%. So Sweat, Calais Campbell get 10%. We're at 40% now.
So now we got 60% of the pie still available. They kicked a few field goals.
They gave up the onside kick.
Well, you don't have to give it to the entire special teams.
You just want to give it to Chad Ryland in the kicking unit?
Yeah.
That's what you want to do? All right, so the
kicking unit gets 5%.
Kicking unit is going to get 5%. I think this is proof that this was not a great performance from this team. All right, now we have 55 more percent to dole out. Any coaches that we want to shout out?
Yeah, Gannon really kept this team on the tracks, felt like.
All right, Jonathan Gannon's going to get
10%.
10%. So that's 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. You want to give the whole defensive line 25%?
Yeah, so now how much do we have left?
So that's 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80. We've got 20% left over.
Okay.
And I'm running out of candidates. I'm running out of people to praise for this game.
You want to give Nick Rallis?
I mean, again, the defense did give up, 19 straight points to end the game. That's what makes this so hard. That's why I actually kind of like doing the exercise.
Michael Wilson caught a touchdown.
How good was Trey McBride's stat line? We may be giving out free percentages here.
I'll be honest with you. Come on by, get your pie.
Free slice for anybody who stops in. Like,
Come on by, get your pie.
That's where I'm at. We made a whole pizza and there's slices left over.
Nice. I like that you called it a pizza. We've had that discussion
We've had
before.
this conversation.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, Michael over on the YouTube, the math ain't mathin'. I'm aware that the math isn't mathin'. We're working through it.
Trey
here.
McBride had 6 catches for 78 yards. He had a 31-yard grab on 7 targets.
Trey McBride's going to get 5%.
Give 5% of the pie.
So now 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 85. You want to give the rest of the defense the other 15?
What about just specifically the run defense?
Isn't that kind of what the defensive line is getting with the 25%?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I legitimately don't know what to do with the remaining 15%. And I think that goes to show you that, yeah, they're 2-0, but it wasn't great. It wasn't the prettiest way to get to 2-0.
Baron Browning had a pick.
So Baron Browning is going to get 5%. I mean, I'm just giving out 5%. So 5, 10, 15, 40, 50, 60,
say what you
70,
will.
90.
And again, not.
I'm at 90%.
All right.
You know what?
Blake Gilligan
No.
had 2 punts
You know
for
what?
123 yards. He's 62-yard average.
I'm
here.
giving the State Farm Stadium crowd the other 10%.
Nice. Everybody gets pie. Come get your pie.
The fans get the rest of the 10%. Okay. So it's going to show the audience here how many different slices we're giving out here today. The defensive line carried the way with 25%. Offense got 20%. And we had a group of 10%. Josh Sweat, 10%. Calais Campbell, 10%. Jonathan Gannon, 10%. You, the fans, at State Farm Stadium got 10%. And then we gave 5% to the kicking game, 5% to Trey McBride, and 5% to Baron Browning. That is how we gave out the victory pie here for the second win of the season. Individual grades, I had Kyler Murray with a C+. The interception was a tough one. I had Drew Petzing with a C-. Didn't get aggressive enough with the play calling when they had the big lead late. Marvin Harrison Jr., a D.
Makes sense.
It's a bad game for Marv.
It's a bad drop.
The offense as a whole, I gave a C. Josh Sweat, I gave a B-. The defense overall, I gave a C+, B-. And then Calais Campbell, because he made the last play of the game, I went with an A+.
Yeah, Calais Campbell, you could sit here and argue, was their best defensive player this week.
He's their best run defender.
And, I mean, he's their best run defender. He is actually their best interior defensive lineman, period. Like, I just want to make it very clear, they need Walter Nolan back.
Darius Robinson is struggling, both run defending and pass rushing.
That's a very kind way to put it.
He's not finding much success. That's the way I'm going to describe it. So they need another option there. Calais Campbell's been great, especially against the run. It's been really good against the run. And so hopefully his influence will help Darius Robinson, will help Walter Nolan when he's able to come back. But yeah, they need more from that defensive line. I know we gave them 25%, and largely it was because of Calais Campbell and the rest of that group. But they need more from Darius Robinson in particular. And hopefully Darius can get a slice of the victory pie here at some point. But there you have it, the grades, the victory pie for week 2 for the Arizona Cardinals. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, I hate using the phrase, but is Saturday a must-win for the Sun Devils? That's next. Lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the Sports Zoo.
The Cardinals 2-0, actually not surprising. I would not be shocked if the Cardinals started 5-2, 6-1. And if you want to get drunk on the Bird Gang, why not say that they could then beat Green Bay? Why not beat Green Bay that day at home in front of your crowd? Now you get San Fran and San Fran, which, we thought would be a really tough game. But, no Brock Purdy, I don't think. We'll see.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Head coach Brian Wright and the Lumberjacks are setting a new standard in Flagstaff.
Happy with our attitude, our effort, how we've come together as a football team.
Join us Saturday. NAU hosts the Incarnate Word Cardinals. Our coverage begins at 1 on your home for Lumberjack football.
Skips his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks.
The NAU Lumberjack Sports Network from Learfield.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union.
Wait,
what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you.
Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Mornings just got better because for a limited time, McDonald's has your favorites for less. Start your day with the $5 meal featuring the Sausage McMuffin with egg, made with freshly cracked egg, savory hot sausage, and melty cheese, plus crispy golden hash browns and a smooth 100% Arabica small coffee, all for just $5. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
We believe everyone deserves access to fresh food. That's why the Kroger Company created the Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program to share fresh food with the people in our communities. Our program and foundations have donated 3 billion meals since 2017. That's nearly 10 meals for every person in the U.S. Together, we can do more for our neighbors. Just round up your purchase at checkout. Fries, fresh for everyone.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
I hate using the term because I don't think it applies unless you're actually in a win or you're out situation. But it does feel like this Saturday's matchup for the Arizona State Sun Devils in their Big 12 opener against the Baylor Bears feels pretty close to a must-win situation to start their Big 12 campaign off on the right foot. Through 3 games, 2 wins, a tough loss at Mississippi State. I think it's okay to be honest. I think it's okay to say ASU has not played the brand of football that we saw them play at the end of last year. So far through 3 games, not the team that I saw play Iowa State in the Big 12 title game. Not the team that we saw almost beat Texas in the college football playoff. They have not been that team through 3 games. They are 2-1. They are 0-0 in the conference, so no harm, no foul about that Mississippi State loss. But through 3 games, I don't really have a whole lot I can point to say this team is following up last year's incredible campaign. And this is a Baylor team that so far this year has a very similar 2-1 record. A Baylor team that up until this point has beaten a ranked SMU team. They did that 2 weeks ago, 48-45, lost a game to Auburn in week 1 and beat Samford 42-7 last week. A little tune-up game before they host ASU here this weekend. It's a Baylor team that has a quarterback that is putting up all of the numbers that you would want. Sawyer Robinson, 1,070 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions so far this season. He's been excellent. They've scored a ton of points in these first 3 games. And they are in position to win this game against ASU and set themselves up nicely for the Big 12. Start their campaign 1-0. Both these teams trying to start their Big 12 campaigns off on the right foot. Want to start 1-0. Want to be up towards the top of the leaderboard. Want to have a potential tiebreaker in your back pocket over a team that, let's face it, both of these teams look across the field, and I think they think that those teams could be there at the end. So you want to win this game to set the tone early, because for Baylor after this, It's Oklahoma State. It's Kansas State. It's TCU. It's Cincinnati. It's a nice little run where they could get hot. For ASU, this is just the start of what is going to be a tough stretch for them. It's home against TCU the following week. It's then back-to-back ranked opponents, at least as of now. Utah, Texas Tech. They've got Iowa State left on the schedule. And boy, this game would go a long way to alleviating a lot of the concerns that many of us have about this ASU team. Despite being 2-1, they have not been impressive at all. Sam Leavitt has been concerning. He has not been the quarterback that everybody thought he was going to be. Not the quarterback that walked off the field after Iowa State and Texas last year. This is the quarterback that we saw at the beginning of last year. And you anticipated that last year. First time starting, growing pains, needing to develop into being a quarterback at the collegiate level. But with the way the season ended, the assumption was that Sam Leavitt would just take that next step. We were talking about him as a Heisman candidate. All of that talk gone, erased, no longer discussing it. Now it's just about, can he get back to being the player that he was the last month or so of the season last year? They got to do it over the weekend, their first road Big 12 game of the season. You're also thinking in the back of your mind, the last road trip that the Sun Devils went on didn't go well for them. You have a lot of question marks about this team. And so while I will not say it is a must win because they can lose and still recover and make it to a Big 12 championship game, boy, would it make the pathway a lot easier. Would it make all of us feel a lot better if they were able to start their season in the Big 12 1-0.
Yeah, I must win. Obviously feels almost like an overstatement in week 4. But let's talk about the truth. Home against TCU, at Utah, home against Texas Tech. That's a gauntlet, right? You get a tough game in Houston, who's looked good to start the year, and then you go to Iowa State. Your next 6 weeks, in all reality, are a gauntlet in the Big 12.
Yeah, let's just go through them right now. TCU, so far this year, 2-0. Utah, 3-0. Texas Tech, 3-0. Houston, 3-0, 1-0 already in the conference. Iowa State, 4-0, 1-0 already in the conference. Every team that you're facing other than Baylor here over the next 5 weeks are teams that are in front of you in the standings, undefeated on the season, some of which already have one Big 12 win in their back pocket.
And in college football, how many times can you slip up? It's not the NFL, right? You need to be at the top of this conference to play in a championship game. You need to be first or second. And it starts with Baylor. If you lose this game to Baylor, you're already fighting an uphill battle. You are already trying to dig yourself out of a deficit in the Big 12, and that just becomes much more challenging with the schedule ahead.
You'll then have to steal one someplace else. You'll have to win all of the quote-unquote winnable games on your schedule. I look at Houston at home. I look at West Virginia at home. I look at Colorado. You have to win all those games. And then you're going to have to steal a couple to make up for the game that you lost to Baylor. And oh, by the way, you lose this week, you're 2-2, you're 500, and you've lost both road tests that you've had this season. You're going to confirm a lot of everybody's doubts about you as a team right now. Whereas if you win, and this is one of the rare times where I don't think it matters how you win.
Just win the football game.
I think you just win the football game.
In conference play, style points almost go out the window, right? Because, like I said, just if you win the games, you get in the championship game. Nobody cares about how you played.
If you run the table,
you're in the conference championship game.
And it doesn't matter if you win every game by 1 point. Doesn't matter. You have to find a way to win. And you just don't feel it's a road game. It's at Baylor. There are many questions about this Sun Devil team overall. You're just going into this game with a different feeling than I think you had about this game 2 weeks ago. I don't think you would feel this nervous about this game 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we know they would have been favored. You're now 2.5-point dogs on the road.
I mean, remember we did the conversation in the summer that they were favored in every game that they were going to play. Not anymore. They're now 2.5-point underdogs here as of doing this segment. 2.5-point underdogs against Baylor over the weekend.
By the way, the total in this game is crazy, 60.5.
Crazy in it would be your 3-point play if we allowed college bets, or crazy in you think that number's too high?
That number is crazy high.
You think it's more in like the 52 to 55
I mean,
range?
it makes sense. Like, that's just college football, but like, imagine seeing it over in the NFL at 60.5.
That's fair, but Baylor has scored 90 points over
in
the
the
last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they gave up 45 to SMU 2 weeks ago. They gave up 38 in a loss to Auburn. I don't know how much Vegas is putting stock into Samford and the 7 points that Baylor only allowed there. So you've given up a ton of points. And, it's not like ASU has scored a bunch, right? That would be the concern here if you were going to take the total. They scored 38 against NAU. They scored 34 against Texas State. But boy, did it feel like they had to grind it out for all those points. Those points didn't come easy.
And not even to mention Mississippi State, where
you were held.
Talking about grinding out points.
Yeah, you scored 20 points, and it felt like it was pulling teeth to get to the 20. Your offense just hasn't been good.
No.
Your offense has not been up to the standard that it needs to be for you to be a Big 12 title contender. You can boil down ASU's 2-1 start and the way that the fan base feels about this team to that statement. The offense has not met its expectations so far. That's it. It's just that simple. If Sam Leavitt turns a corner and starts to play better, then they're going to start to rattle off wins. You'll feel better about them against TCU at home. You'll feel better about going to Utah. You'll feel better about hosting Texas Tech. You'll feel better about all of these games if the offense even remotely looks like what it did a year ago. And there's brief moments, right? Jordan Tyson making that great catch and getting into the end zone for a touchdown. That's a moment you could directly pull out of last year's season. There's just too few of those moments. And it feels like those moments are like pulling teeth. They need to get more consistent on offense, because without it, I just don't think the defense is going to be able to do enough to carry them. I don't think any of us thought the defense was going to carry ASU to a Big 12 title.
No.
The assumption was always Sam Leavitt, Jordan Tyson, Kenny Dillingham, a high-octane, high-powered offense was going to be the ticket back to a Big 12 title game. And so far, through 3 weeks, they have not been able to do that. And so you're uneasy, you're nervous, you're on edge, and you look at this game and you can see it going one of two ways. You win this game, it's the start of something. You're 1-0 in the Big 12, you're 3-1 on the season. Off we go, we get back on track. Or it is another road test where the team falls short and they're a 500 football team. They're off to a bad start in the Big 12, and all of the concerns that we've had for 3 weeks continue into week 5. And then at some point, you just are what your record says you are. And it's early enough to where I don't want to do that. But if you lose to Baylor on the road and the offense continues to struggle, you're going to run out of time. You're going to run out of opportunities to try to change our minds. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. I do want to mention something, because you can also watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Brian from Chandler says Scadaboo covered up a lot of the blemishes last year. I would agree with that if they couldn't run the ball. They can run the ball very well.
I have this really big problem with this narrative that Arizona State cannot run the ball anymore. What are we talking about? The only reason they were in the game against Mississippi State is because they ran the ball. They had a 75-yard touchdown run last week, and they didn't run the ball enough in week 1. Otherwise, they would have taken it to NAU.
If they're running the ball,
fine. Actually, you know what? Not fine. Really well.
Yeah, they're running the ball. I mean, what did Raleek Brown have in the last game? He went over 100, didn't he?
Easy.
Well,
I mean, he had the
100.
75-yard run.
Right.
He had 144 on the ground.
So he was well over 100. I mean, those are the types of numbers that Cam was putting up.
How about this? You take that out. You take the 75-yard touchdown run out. He still averaged 6.2 yards a carry.
You take that 75-yard touchdown run out. I don't know what offense this team has.
Like, I just don't. I don't understand. They're not committing to running the ball because they think they don't have Cam.
If you wanted to make the argument that Cam's presence, his leadership is missing, I can hear that argument. But from a production talent perspective, they're fine in the running back room. They're fine. They're getting the production they need from that room. If you want to say there's a leadership void, there is a persona void, there's a vibe void. I mean, you got Cam Scadaboo grabbing Russell Wilson by his shoulder pads and shaking him on the sidelines during the game against the Cowboys. He brings an energy. If you want to say that's missing, okay, I think we can have that conversation, and I would tend to agree with you. But I don't think Scatterbo being gone now is all of a sudden showing the warts of the team. They're still running the ball incredibly well. They still have the same offensive coaching staff. They still have the same quarterback. That's where the problem lies. The problem lies in the execution of the offense on those three players in particular. Kenny Dillingham, Sam Levitt, and whoever, Malik McClain, the wide receiver too. Whoever's not named Jordan Tyson in that wide receiver room. That's where the offense is failing right now. When we come back, we will wrap up hour number one here of the program. A little buy or sell, the hottest takes in sports talk radio. We'll get to them next. So lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young
kids
kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring Me the Horizon, USA Ascension Program, Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Right now, lease a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV for just $99 a month for 24 months with $19.99 due at signing. That's right, a brand new Kia for under $100 a month, only until September 30th. The name, remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Zero security deposit, payment plus tax, title license, and $9.98 doc fee.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract, play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up hour number one here at the program. Thanks for joining us. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Little buy or sell to wrap up hour number one here of the show. The hot takes provided by producer Evan. I have to buy or sell. I did some buying yesterday.
You did do some buying yesterday.
A lot of selling on Monday. I did a little bit more buying yesterday.
Yes, yesterday was a 4 buy day after a 5 sell day. So we're 4 and 5 on the week.
Okay.
All right.
I'm surprised we're getting to this many buy or sells in the final segment of the hour.
Yeah, especially on Monday.
Mondays are tough. Mondays and Fridays.
It's hard to get to 3, really.
It's hard for us to get to buy or sell on time.
it's a great but long segment as the NFL Rewind and Look Ahead.
The Look Ahead and the Rewind just take a while because there's a lot to go over.
There's just a lot of games, and especially no bye weeks yet.
And buy or sell really is the segment that suffers because of it. And then you do this. You banter. You don't actually get into the buy or sell.
And we get off topic.
Right. And so again, I'm surprised that through 2 days we've gotten to 9 buy or sells.
Yeah, me too. But we have. Anyway, 4 and 5 on the week. Let's get into it. The Cardinals are going to have to average 27 points a game to win the division.
Is there a reason for the specifics there of 27 points?
Yeah. So last year, they actually ranked 11th in the league in points per game with 23.5.
Okay. It clearly wasn't good enough last year.
And so that wasn't good enough. So that brought me to what is the number that's good enough? And I landed on 27 because any team that did score 27 points per game made the playoffs.
So any team in the NFL last year.
And I will double check that. But
averaged 27
obviously
points.
excluding the Bengals because they don't even count.
Wait a minute. So just after saying every team that scored 27 points a game made the postseason, you now are making an exception and saying, well, of course not the Bengals. Well, no, they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, obviously, but they're the Bengals. Like, we don't,
So we're carving out a Bengals exception?
Of course. Okay, but here are the other ones. Detroit scored the most points per game with 33. Buffalo at 30, Baltimore at 30, Tampa 29, Philadelphia 29, Washington 28. Cincinnati's the only exception at 27.8.
Was there any
team? So 28 is the number that would exclude Cincinnati.
Was there any team that scored less than 27 points that made the playoffs?
Certainly.
Last year?
Green Bay at 26.1, Minnesota at 24.5, Denver at 24, Kansas City at 23.1, Chargers at 23.
So you can do this without scoring a ton of points.
Yes. And by the way, Arizona, 23.5, finished just below Denver, who scored 24 points per game. But keep in mind, let's look at the 3 teams, or the teams that didn't score 27. Green Bay, who we've talked about. Obviously, they added Micah Parsons this year, but that defense is good. Denver, don't need enough said about their defense. Minnesota can get after the passer. Kansas City, obviously. The Chargers are an interesting one. Would have thought they scored more points per game. 23 was their number.
I'll buy the take based on the premise that they need to score more points than they did last year if they want to be able to make the postseason. I think we all feel that way. They're not a team, especially with the injuries we'll touch on at the top of the hour. They don't feel like a team that's going to be able to win games 23-20 every week.
That was kind of the point of the buy or sell. ASU football can't lose more than 1 game in the conference if they want to play the conference championship game.
I'll buy this. I think Iowa State's really good. I think Utah's really good. I think Houston's playing well at the start of the year. U of A's playing well. You look at all these. Did I mention Texas Tech?
You did not.
And all these teams are TCU. I assume at least one of those teams is going to go either undefeated or only have 1 loss. And then you're battling it out for one other spot if you have at least 1 loss. So, yeah, I think you're going to have to really limit where you slip up. That's why this weekend feels so important for ASU.
ASU will have to score at least 35 points to beat Baylor.
What? On the spot with these offensive questions. They have to score 35 points in order to beat Baylor. And Baylor can score.
Baylor obviously put up
90 points in their last
90
2 games.
points in their last 2 games. One of them against SMU, who was a playoff team last year.
They won that game 48-45.
In a shootout.
They're going to have to score more than 30. Again, it doesn't feel like Big 12 football is 23-20. It doesn't feel like that's the way it's going to be. I'll buy this. I think the offense, and the reason why I'll buy it is because I believe the offense needs to be better if this team is going to stand a chance.
All right, got 2 D-backs, ones to finish. Don't think we'll get to both, so we'll choose one. Despite it not even leaving the infield, last night's walk-off single will officially unlock Jordan Lawler.
I mean, of course we're buying this. I mean, he was already playing well, playing better, I should say. last couple of weeks. Been getting a little bit more playing time, thriving in that playing time. Had a pinch hit the other night. The walk-off last night for him.
Pinch hit again last night, right? Like substitution, only got the 2 at-bats. One of them's the walk-off. I wonder if that's how they're going to use him if they do end up making a run here.
I certainly would love to see him draw in more, especially now that he's playing well, to try to keep that confidence up. Torey Lovullo did announce today that the Diamondbacks are going to a 4-man rotation for the rest of the season.
Feels like the right move.
So they are shortening it up, and you're going to see a lot of Zach Gallen. You're going to see a lot of Brendan Pfaadt, a lot of Ryan Nelson, a lot of Eduardo Rodriguez here down the stretch.
More fastballs.
A lot of Ryan Nelson fastballs coming to a television near you. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. The Cardinals, they are one of the last few 2-0 teams in the NFL. But not all the 2-0 teams are the same. Talk about it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Every day in Arizona, drivers and pedestrians share the road. Always watch out for pedestrians, even when you have the right of way. Make sure to follow the speed limit. Just a few extra miles per hour can mean the difference between life and death. Keep your eyes on the road at all times, not your phone. And never block or park in crosswalks. It's dangerous. Visit gohs.az.gov for more information. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Stevie Nicks. One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks live at PHX Arena.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Hey, it's Pat. The other day at work, they brought in pizza for lunch. So I swooped in and I grabbed 3 slices. The coworker next to me said, "Geez, Pat, you can't have it all." Then I corrected him and said, "Yeah, I can. And you can too. With a new 2025 Toyota truck. Power and performance, capability and reliability." Well, I must have convinced him because he grabbed the plate out of my hand and he said, "Good point, Pat."
Right now, get low 1.75% financing for 72 months on a new 2025 Tundra. Or get 2.99% 48-month financing on a new Tacoma SR or SR5. To check out great deals on your favorite Toyota, visit your Valley Toyota dealer or valleytoyotadealers.com today. Toyota, let's go places. 1.75% with $14.64 per thousand borrowed for 72 months. 2.99% with $22.13 per thousand borrowed for 48 months. 0 down payment if you qualify. Offers exclude TRD Pro and Trail Hunter models and N93025. See dealer for details.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA and a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
12 o'clock hour here of the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We have a bit of a controversy to start hour number 2 of the show. We have a top 5 list coming up. We have 2 ideas that are up in the air about the top 5 list. Producer Evan suggested something. I also suggested something. I hate both ideas. I don't really love both concepts for today's top 5 list. And so I don't know which of the two we should do. Ergo, I'm not prepared necessarily to do either one of the lists. I'll get prepared. Don't
Let's face it. I mean, they're both in positions that we we just couldn't find a national day today.
Well, that's what we normally default to because we like to make the top 5 list non-sports related if we can, because it's just a fun little way to break up the show. But there are times where it is worth it to do something sports related. Today felt like a day where maybe we did something sports related. You suggested top 5 NFL head coaches right now. I suggested, coming off of this segment about talking about the 2-0 teams, the top 5 positives to the Cardinals 2-0 start. I don't love either list.
Can I throw out an idea?
Sure. If you want to, I would love something.
Well,
different.
I don't have a top 5 idea. What if we leave it up to the chat?
You want to hand the reins to the program, to team listener.
To team listener.
It's aggressive. Don't know if I trust them.
Well, though I'm sure they'll all throw in a top 5 idea. We'll pick one.
So you're not even asking for them to decide between the two that we've thrown out there. You're giving them a third choice. You're giving them door number 3, which is they can suggest something for the top 5 list today.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, just because we let them suggest something doesn't mean we have to take the idea.
No, exactly. We have our 2 we can fall back on.
All right, so we'll open it up to the audience. 480-864-1060 if you want to call in with an idea, or the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream if you want to suggest a different idea for the top 5 list. Or else we're going to pick either producer Evan's top 5 coaches so far this season or my top 5 positives of the Cardinals 2-0 start. Those are our options right now. Now, if you ask the TikTok chat, they're going to want me to do something fantasy football related.
The TikTok chat loves fantasy football.
I love fantasy football. That's all the comments are, asking for my advice on fantasy football. I'm not offering any. I got my own fantasy teams to worry about, but that's what everyone's asking for over there. In the meantime, the Cardinals are one of 9 teams still sporting an undefeated record here as we enter play in week 3. Yet it doesn't feel like the Arizona Cardinals are like the other 2-0 teams. They have the same record. They should be talked about in the same kind of context. But I don't view them the same way as these other 2-0 teams. Why? Because you look at some of the other 2-0 teams, and I think there's lots of reasons for optimism around those teams. Buffalo, 2-0, dominating win over the Jets. The comeback win over the Ravens. That's a marquee staple victory. They're a Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl favorite in many people's eyes. The Bengals, 2-0. Problem is they don't have their quarterback anymore. So, yeah, they're 2-0, but how optimistic can you be about their 2-0 start? The Colts, they're 2-0. Lots of optimism about their 2-0 start. Daniel Jones playing very well. Beating the Broncos, right? Everybody kind of wrote off the Colts and what they did in week 1 against the Dolphins because the Dolphins are 0-2. The Dolphins may fire their coach if things don't go well on Thursday for them against the Bills. So you wanted to see another week. Well, you saw another week and you got another week. You got another week where this Colts offense was able to score 30-something points. A lot of optimism there. Out in the West, it's the Chargers. They're 2-0. A lot of optimism. You beat the Chiefs in week 1. In Sao Paulo, Brazil, you showed that you can handle yourself against the Kansas City Chiefs. You then came back. You played the Raiders. You didn't Charger it. You're 2-0. That's important. You look at the NFC East, the Eagles. Beat the Cowboys in week 1, albeit not the dominating win that many people thought, but then you beat the Chiefs in week 2. So there's still optimism. This team has owned the Chiefs. 2 of the last 3 games that they've played have been against the Chiefs. They've won both those games. They're 2-0. You've got Washington who's struggling with their quarterback. Doesn't look like Jaden Daniels is going to play. You can see a world where they run away with the NFC East. The Packers 2-0. How can you not be impressed with what the Packers are doing? Dominating the Lions in week 1. I know the final score didn't look like it, but dominated the Commanders on a short week on Thursday night. The South, Tampa, they're 2-0. What kind of 2-0 are they? And I view Cincinnati, Tampa, the Cardinals, and the 49ers as these teams that are 2-0 that aren't like the other 2-0 teams. They're not like Green Bay. They're not like Buffalo. They're not like the Chargers. They're not like Philadelphia. These teams are 2-0, yes, but they have major, major red flags, major warning signs, major issues that could very easily see them not be undefeated when we get in here on Monday. So, yes, the Cardinals are 2-0, just like the Rams, just like the 49ers, just like the Bucks, the Packers, the Eagles, the Chargers, the Colts, the Bengals, the Bills. They're in that group, 9-10 teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks. The Cardinals, one of those last unbeatens. Yes, granted, give them credit for that. But I don't feel the same way about the Cardinals as I do all those other teams. I don't feel the same way about the Cardinals as I do the Bills. I don't feel the same way about the Cardinals as I do the Chargers or the Colts. The Colts are 2-0. There's lots of reason for optimism. Is there reason for optimism about the 2-0 Cardinals? Other than maybe they're 2-0 despite not playing their best brand of football?
I think the optimism is, doesn't it feel like in previous years the Cardinals lose those football games, or at least one of those football games, given how they played? That would be the only reason you could sit in a chair and say, okay, I'm optimistic. But they haven't played their best brand of football. What is their best brand of football? I don't know.
They feel very similar to Tampa to me. Tampa is 2-0, and they've played 2 really close games, and they've been nail biters, and they've stolen them late. That's what the Cardinals feel like. The Colts are 2-0. Colts have played their best version of football, especially on offense, and they're 2-0.
But they needed every play down the stretch to beat Denver.
I'm just saying that there's excitement around them because at least one side of the ball is playing their best version.
Yeah.
The offense for the Cardinals has not been good for 2 weeks. The defense was a problem on Sunday. They have not played a complete game yet. Now, you can spin that as a positive. You can spin that as they're 2-0 despite that. I look at it as they're 2-0 and they're not like any of the other 2-0 teams. They're not like Buffalo. They're not like Indianapolis. They're not like the Chargers, the Eagles, the Packers. They're not like any of those teams. They're more like the 49ers. They're more like the Bucks. That's the Bengals. That's the company that they keep. And in fact, the Bengals are 2-0. The only reason why there's not positivity around them is because of Burrow's injury. Now, that's a big deal, but if Burrow was healthy, the Cincinnati Bengals would be talked about with the Packers, the Bills, the Eagles,
certainly
Chargers. That's the tier that they would be in. The only reason why the Bengals get brought back down to the tier that we're talking about with the Cardinals and the Bucks is because they don't have Joe Burrow. So not all 2-0 teams are created the same. The Cardinals are 2-0. They are record-wise like all of those other teams. They have not played like a 2-0 football team. They have not played the way these other 2-0 teams have played. And now they're going to have to do it without Garrett Williams because, in a bit of an injury update for everybody, Garrett Williams was placed on injured reserve with a knee injury. Possible that he returns late in the season, but they will be without him, obviously, this upcoming Sunday. Max Melton is practicing today for the Cardinals. Will Johnson is not practicing today for the Cardinals. So there is a world where this upcoming Sunday, the Cardinals were down 2 of their starting 3 corners. They did add a corner to their active roster today after making the roster move for Garrett Williams to the injured reserve. Also, LJ Collier placed on injured reserve. So a bit of a blow to the depth of the defensive line depth that this team has on this roster. And so it appears as though they've avoided 2 major catastrophes in their cornerback room. Garrett Williams on IR, potential to come back, but at least going to miss the next 4 weeks or so with that knee. So there's a chance he's able to come back late in the season. So they're down him. A lot of pressure on Max Melton, a lot of pressure on Will Johnson. Don't know if Will Johnson is going to play on Sunday. And so this is going to be a test here over the next couple of weeks of how this Cardinals corner room, Will Johnson being thrusted into a very important role for this team very early on in his career. Now you're playing a San Francisco team that's also kind of banged up. Don't know who's starting at quarterback for the 49ers on Sunday. They're already down George Kittle. They don't have Brandon Ayuk. They have some injuries on the offensive side of the ball. So the matchup of your injuries on defense and their injuries on offense kind of go together here for this week. But you're not going to have Garrett Williams, at least for the foreseeable future. And who knows if Will Johnson's going to be able to play. Certainly not a good sign that he's not practicing today, because you're going to have to make a decision here pretty soon And if he doesn't practice today, he doesn't practice tomorrow, are you really going to put him in there if he just practices for a little bit on Friday? What's that ramp up look like? And Jonathan Gannon referred to it as day to day. They're going to take it day by day with these guys, meaning Melton and Will Johnson. But they're going to need them because without them, you saw what the secondary looked like against Carolina.
It was bad. I mean, the end of that game was really bad. You're going to need the pass rush to step up big. That's really what it comes down to is if you're going to miss guys on the back end, I need my front four to get after it.
Josh Sweat, Darius Robinson, Calais Campbell, those guys have to feast. They have to get home. They have to create pressure on who's ever playing quarterback for the 49ers. And you know Shanahan's going to know that. And then that's where the chess game starts to begin between these two sides. It's going to be a real coaching battle. Real coaching battle for Jonathan Gannon against Kyle Shanahan. Because he's dealing with some injuries in the secondary. And he knows he's going to have to mask some of his coverages to try to make up for some of those holes. So it'll be a fun little challenge. Really the first challenge this team's faced all season.
It'll be fun to see where they line up, how they line up, especially with some injuries. It'll be also kind of interesting to see what the Niners look to do to exploit that. I mean, they have their own injuries, right? No Purdy, no Kittle. There's tons of injuries over there. They don't have the weapons healthy right now. So you're not dealing with the normal 49ers. What are they going to have put up their sleeve to try and beat the Cardinals on some of these looks and without some of these corners?
Yeah, and they might not have Jawan Jennings either. He left that game on Sunday with an ankle injury. So you're down Jawan Jennings, Spencer Burford, your offensive tackle got hurt in the game. So you have an offense for San Francisco that's banged up with a defense for the Cardinals that's banged up. It's going to be who can make the most with their depth options. That's the update for the Cardinals on the injury front. Garrett Williams placed on injured reserve, potential to return late in the season. Max Melton practicing today. Will Johnson not practicing today, but it does feel like they avoided two major significant injuries there to that corner room. And I've seen some people talk about how, the Cardinals avoided, a disaster. Yes, they didn't have two catastrophic injuries to their corner room, but it doesn't feel great that when all three of your starting corners in some way have ended up on the injury report this week, one of which just got placed on IR, the other one's not practicing, and the third is back at practice today, and it's day by day. It still feels like this is a tough situation for the Cardinals to have to deal with, and it could prove to be costly if Will Johnson has to also miss some time. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. I've decided, producer Evan, we're going to do your idea. We're going to do the top 5 NFL head coaches right now as we enter week 3 in the NFL. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. This hour's program is brought to you by Bet365. Football is back. Get ready for the season at Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
These lawyers love to promise you they're going to fight for you unless you read their fine print.
When you read the fine print, you'll see not licensed to practice in this state or not a law firm.
You do not trust your future anything other than experienced trial lawyers. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. and I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
Are you ready to score big with your finances? Right now, get $350 for opening a new MidFirst checking account. Just visit a branch near you or go online. Plus, register your MidFirst debit or credit card and enter to win a $1,500 shopping spree. No purchase necessary. The clock's ticking, so don't wait. Win big this season with MidFirst Bank. Visit midfirst.com for details. MidFirst Bank. True to you. Member FDIC.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Dodgers are sitting at 84-67, and on paper, with a payroll brushing up against $350 million, that feels like a letdown. But much like NBA teams that treat the regular season seeding as a little more than a tune-up for May and June, you get a sense the Dodgers are quietly pacing themselves for October. Yes, the injury bug has done some damage there, but the win total isn't as gaudy as fans might prefer. But this team doesn't lack for firepower. Not when Shohei Ohtani is finally hitting his stride, putting together 5 no-hit innings on the mound and hitting his 50th home run at the plate. That's the frightening part. The record is merely average by Dodger standards, and the roster anything but. If Ohtani stays hot and they get a little healthier, nobody's going to care what the standings look like in mid-September. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Pickleball is the fastest growing court sport in the world, and no one makes playing pickleball safer, more comfortable, and quicker on your feet than Tyrell. Tyrell is the first purpose-built shoe made specifically for playing pickleball. Tyrell shoes are made with the famous Vibram outsole. Remember, Tyrol. If you want to elevate your game, you want to play longer, more comfortably, go to TyrolPickleball.com and experience how Tyrol can help your game while making you look like a real pro.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
So Wednesday, which means we do a top 5. Today, we're just going to put our hands up and say we struggled with coming up with a topic for today. I'm not above admitting to the audience when we struggle putting the show together. We're vulnerable. I'm sure there are days for you at work where you just, that task that you do every single day, you didn't do it to the level you did it the week prior. And that's what the top 5 list is today. Tomorrow's National Cheeseburger Day. I couldn't come up with anything to do with that.
Yeah, fast food cheeseburgers, top 5 fast food cheeseburgers.
That feels like the lowest hanging of all the fruits.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, we're going top 5 head coaches, so I don't know if this is much better.
Not much better.
But at least it's football related. I'll play it says the list music here. It's not actually the list music. This is the power rankings music. This is also the Overreaction Tuesday music. But it all works the same. Top 5 head coaches. My guess. You ready for this prediction?
Certainly.
We have the same 5 coaches.
I don't think so.
You feel that strongly about it, huh?
I don't think we have the same 5.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. Number 5,
Wait a minute.
Do you want to do HMs first?
That's what I was asking for. Do you want to do HMs at the end? I feel like we do this every time.
I feel like we should do HMs at the end.
We'll do HMs at the end.
Okay. My fifth best coach in the league, Nick Sirianni.
Okay, so then you're right. We're not going to go 5 for 5.
Yeah. I knew you weren't going to have Nick.
No, because he stinks. He's not a good coach. He's great players.
So here's my point. If you have Dan Campbell on the list, you have to have Nick Sirianni on the list.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Dan Campbell not on the list.
Okay.
So I'm intellectually consistent here.
That's fine. Then I can sit down with that. But same argument I had for quarterbacks, winning matters. Been to 2 Super Bowls, winning percentage through the roof. And I know they have a talented team, but at some point it falls on the coach. If you don't believe in Jalen Hurts, then I don't know why you don't believe in Nick Sirianni. If you don't believe in both, then I'm sorry. You're a hater, because if you've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, you've won once, and you beat Patrick Mahomes, and who I believe is going to be both our number 1 coach eventually.
I mean, this show is very pro Kevin O'Connell.
It is very pro Kevin O'Connell. All right. You're number 5?
A coach in the AFC North. John Harbaugh is my number 5.
I like it. I have him a little bit higher.
I know that the knock as of late is that they have not been able to win with Lamar, but he's won a Super Bowl. He has constantly got his team in the mix at the end of the year for winning the division. He is a model of consistency. And I will say this stuff kind of matters for me. This is a coach who's not an offensive coordinator. He's not a defensive coordinator. Do you know his background? Do you know John Harbaugh's background?
Yeah, he's a special teams coach.
He's a special teams coach that has modernized the NFL with the way that he runs his offense. That adds some value to me, right? That you're not somebody who is off of an OC or a DC tree. You're a special teams guy that's just following the winds of the way the NFL is going. You're very adaptable. That has some value. Number 5 for me, John Harbaugh.
Number 4 for me, Sean McVay.
Wow, you have McVay very low.
The 1 Super Bowl, and listen, if there's a knock on Sirianni that his team's too good, I think that knock needs to sit there for Sean McVay at times too. Yes, he won the Super Bowl. How many Hall of Famers were on the field? 2
different Super Bowls with 2 different quarterbacks. He didn't win one with Goff, but he got Goff to a Super Bowl.
And I just want to make it very clear, with the worst offensive performance ever.
I understand, but if you want to throw in a coach's face the talent around him, if I have seen 2 different iterations of a team go to the Super Bowl, go on deep runs, that allows me to kind of knock back you only can do it with talent because you've had 2 different versions, right? There's another coach on this list that I'm going to talk about. The main reason is not just because of the championships that he's won, but he has been a winner in 2 different cities, 2 different places. So it doesn't matter the quarterback that he had when he won his multiple championships that he's won recently. I'm making it very clear who I'm talking about.
Yes.
That coach has won, not at the highest level, but went to a Super Bowl in another city, won championships in this city, different quarterbacks, different teams, all that success. So it doesn't matter if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback. I've seen you do it in multiple stops.
But let's also be real. A knock on Sean McVay is Jared Goff has gone to the Lions and been tremendous. So the knock that he took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl, Jared Goff went to an NFC championship with a different team now.
Sure, Baker Mayfield revitalized his career with 1 game in LA.
Yeah, sure. But Baker's also, Baker fell into their lap, and I get McVay gets credit for that, but it's not like...
They've been good the last 2 seasons without Aaron Donald.
I put him 4th.
Yeah, just too low. Just too low for me.
I put him 4th.
Number 4 for me is a coach that we have said is underrated. Give me LaFleur.
It's a good pick. I had him as my top HM.
Oh, Matt LaFleur was the top HM?
Yeah, number 6.
I snuck him in there at number 4. Won with Rodgers. Is now winning with Jordan Love. Perhaps has the best team in football. Is constantly at the cutting edge of where offenses are going in the NFL. Doesn't have the playoff pedigree. But some of the coaches in front of him have.
I think that's why I had him off my list. But then I looked at my list. It was like, tons of playoff pedigree. And then we'll get into my name it too.
So Matt LaFleur for me, number 4.
Number 3 for me, John Harbaugh. You want to talk about a team that has won in different iterations and under a coach that has won in different iterations. There's the picture of it. Have done it with Lamar, have done it with Flacco, won a Super Bowl with Flacco. They're constantly one of the best teams in the league every year. And I don't know if this is a John Harbaugh thing or an organizational thing, but anytime the Ravens pick a defensive player, you're like, oh, I knew they were good. Every time. And so that, to me, only shows the type of coaching you get there. Everybody over there, they run a really, really good organization.
Number 3 for me, Andy Reid. Did it in Philadelphia, is now doing it in Kansas City, and it is because of the Kansas City run that he is getting all of the accolades because he's winning the championships. But he was a good coach in Philly. He was a great coach in Philly.
Certainly.
And if there's anything that's going to keep the Kansas City Chiefs afloat here while they go through a little bit of transition, it's that they have one of the best offensive minds in the game who is constantly coming up with new wrinkles. Constantly taking a formation that you've seen 400 times and doing something completely different and making you second guess yourself. I don't think there's anybody better in the game at doing that in particular than Andy Reid.
Number 2 for me, Kevin O'Connell.
Wow, you didn't have KOC number 1.
And I can't.
Did you have Reid 1?
I did.
So I have KOC 1.
So my thought on KOC is just the playoff pedigree. I couldn't put him at 1.
That's fair. I just think he's the best coach in football right now.
I agree. And I think you and I would fight that. But when you talk about winning does matter eventually. And we've seen him do it with Kirk Cousins. He fixed Sam Darnold's career.
Right, but
and we'll see what it looks like with JJ.
The knock on the playoff pedigree thing, though, is he's gone to the postseason with multiple different quarterbacks.
Yes. I mean, I'll say this, and they lost the Giants.
I know, I get it, and that is a knock on him, but he's gone with 2 different quarterbacks to the postseason.
I know.
That's on you as a coach at that point.
Certainly. They lost the Giants. Right?
I know. You know what? You're making me – I'm moving KOC to number 2.
And I love Kevin O'Connell, but
McVay's going to number 1.
The Giants lost by 60 the next week.
I don't think it was that much. It was pretty close, though.
It was 43, right? Wasn't close. It? That's also an exaggeration. I think it was like in the 30s.
Yeah, they got blown out.
Yeah.
I think they only scored 7 points in the game. So I have McVay number 1. I flipped him and KOC. You made a compelling argument about the playoff and losing to the Giants. So I have McVay 1, KOC 2, Reid 3, LaFleur 4, John Harbaugh 5. Yeah,
so I'm Sirianni 5, McVay 4, John Harbaugh 3, Kevin O'Connell 2, and number 1. I don't know if there's another argument. Andy Reid right now. It's just I know they're 0-2 right now, but still. Some of your HMs?
3 HMs.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
Mike Tomlin.
Interesting. You left off a name that I have up there.
Really?
Yeah, Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
Mike Tomlin. And Todd Bowles has an HM.
You know, Todd Bowles does feel like the perfect HM. He's been really good there.
He's been really good.
In Tampa, taking over.
I mean, they have a culture that they tend to win those games.
They do.
And I know the knock is, well, they're playing close games. Yeah, they're winning them. So.
A lot of good coaches in the NFL.
There is. It does feel like there's better coaches than ever.
There you have it. Top 5 list here on a Wednesday. The top 5 coaches in the NFL right now. When we come back. Through 2 weeks, it has not been what it was last year. Is it fair to be concerned about the Cardinals' running game? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Welcome everyone under the lights at Mountain America Stadium.
Boy, look at this stadium. If you're not here, shame on you.
There's a long history of this facility. This is one of the biggest games ever played here.
This is the biggest game for these players, the biggest game for this city, the program, and even the valley.
Go up and go get it, young man. What a catch. Intercepted.
Buy your season tickets, because why would you not want to be in that environment?
Arizona State Sun Devil football. Buy your season tickets now at sundevils.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
September 11th reminds us of a day when America stood under attack and stood together. We remember the victims, the heroes, and the everyday citizens who showed extraordinary courage. That same spirit of resilience lives in our Constitution. The Second Amendment protects our right to defend our families, our homes, and our nation. This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. If you've lost constitutional rights due to a past conviction, we can help restore them. For a free consultation, visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
It's the Sports Zoo.
The Cardinals 2-0, actually not surprising. I would not be shocked if the Cardinals started 5-2, 6-1. And if you want to get drunk on the Bird Gang, why not say that they can then beat Green Bay? Why not beat Green Bay that day at home in front of your crowd? Now you get San Fran and San Fran, which, we thought would be a really tough game. But, no Brock Purdy, I don't think. We'll see.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I think we all know what the Cardinals want to be offensively. It's very clear the way that they've built this team, where they've made their investments, where they've given out extensions. They want to be a run-first football team. It's their identity. That's why James Conner got the extension, not just because of the value he provided as a runner, but also because of what he meant to that room. He is in many ways the leader of that offense. I don't know if that says something about Kyler Murray, but he is the identity of that offense, that being James Conner. And so coming into the year, the game script for the Cardinals. They want to run the football, they want to get a lead, and they want to lean on that running game and that defense to grind games to a halt. Now, they want to score points, but they want to dominate the time of possession. That's why, in many ways, up until the fourth quarter of Sunday's game against the Panthers, that's exactly who the Cardinals want to be as a football team. They want to get out to an early lead on you. They want to run the football. They want to keep tacking on to that lead, and they want their defense to get quick stops, and they want to control the time of possession, and they want to grind the game to a halt. They want to limit the number of chances you have to get back into a game. Just so happens that injuries, Panthers going up and down the field, maybe the passiveness of the way the defense was called led the Panthers to be right back into the game. So when I see that the Cardinals so far this year are 11th in all of football in yards per rush and 13th in football in total rushing yards per game. They have 4.7 yards per rush. That's good for 11th in the game. Last year, they were inside the top 10 in that number, north of 5. Rush yards per game, they're 13th, 114. Last year, producer Evan, maybe you can check with AI on this, or you can just go to Pro Football References, which is where I first saw the number this morning. I believe last year they were inside the top 8, and the number for them last year was 140-plus yards per game on the ground. And so you look at it and you say 11th and 13th, better, above average, top half of the league. You would expect that to be good enough. Not with the way this team is built. This team is built to be top 10 in both of those categories. This team is built, designed, game script-wise, to be top 8 in both of those categories, especially when you look at the passing side of the ball. You have a middle-of-the-road rushing attack. Your passing offense, 26th in passes attempted per game, 27th in passing yards per game at 170.5. This team is 15th in yards per pass. Their passing offense isn't very good. That's supposed to be okay, though, because the rushing offense is supposed to carry the weight. It isn't. They're averaging less than 1 rushing touchdown a game. They're at 0.5. That's good for 17th. They run the ball nearly 45% of the time. That's top 10. That they're top 10 in. They're top 10 in how often they run the football. They're just not as effective with it. They're just not as efficient with it as they were a year ago. And I think it is very fair to be concerned about the state of this running game through 2 weeks. And it is because this is what their identity is as a football team, but also because they brought back the same group from a year ago. Same offensive line, same running backs, same quarterback, same receivers, same offensive play caller. Nothing's changed. If you had some moving parts, if you had 2 or 3 new offensive linemen, if James Conner hit free agency and Trey Benson was kind of working his way into the starting role, I'd give you all the benefit of the doubt. I'd give you all the reason, all the wiggle room to figure this out. I'd give you a couple of weeks. I would say 2 weeks, not a big enough sample size. Let this offensive line gel. Let Trey Benson get up to speed with carrying this larger workload. But guess what? James Conner's still here. Offensive line, same 5 guys that were starting games for them last season. There are no built-in excuses, so you expect it to hit the ground running, and when it's not, I think it's fair to be concerned.
Last year, the Cardinals were 7th in rushing yards per game with 144.2. This year, so far through 2 games,
13th.
They are 13th.
114 yards on the ground per game. It's not good enough. It's better than more than half the league, but it's not good enough because this is who this team is. This is who they want to be. And if they're not going to be this, then they need those passing numbers to be better. And which do we feel is easier to turn around? Do we feel it's easier for this team to turn around their rushing attack? Or do we feel like it's easier for this team to turn around their passing offense? We all know the answer to that question. It's year 7 of Kyler Murray. Most of you have made up your mind on who he is as a quarterback, and you don't expect those numbers to dramatically increase. You don't expect them all of a sudden to go from 27th in passing yards per game to being a top 10 offense in that regard. You do, however, expect this rushing attack to get better. And the best part about it is they have the talent to get better. They have the offensive line to get better. So that is a reason to think that they can turn it around. But it's also the main reason why you're concerned that we're even having this conversation in the first place, because that's the one group that you probably relied on the most coming into the season. I don't think any of us expected 2 weeks into the year to be worrying about the rushing attack. They didn't hit 100 yards on the ground on Sunday against the Panthers. And producer Evan loves to point this out. The Panthers' rushing defense stinks. outside of Derek Brown, they don't have a whole lot of guys that can get home.
They gave up 200 rush yards against Jacksonville.
You couldn't get to 100 against them last Sunday. Now, I don't know these numbers. I'm going to look at them on the fly because I don't know how well they've been doing in this regard so far this season. I want to see what San Francisco's been doing against the run. I hit the wrong button. So what happens when you try to do something on the fly? I hit the wrong button. I went to the wrong page.
That's a tough.
Happens. The rushing defense for the San Francisco 49ers, 8th in opponents' yards per rush. They're allowing just 3.7 yards per rush on the ground. Rushing yards per game, they're allowing only 102.5. That's good enough for 13th. So you're facing a really good San Francisco defense. Robert Saleh is back there in San Francisco as the defensive coordinator. They've been blitzing a lot more. They're creating more pressure. Their pass defense is great. 10th in opponents' yards per pass. 6th in opponents' passing yards per game. So your passing attack playing right into the strength of the San Francisco defense, and your rushing attack and the slow start that it's gotten off to doesn't feel like you're getting a soft opportunity here in week 3 to get right. So it does feel like this game's going to be a bit of a slog on Sunday, doesn't it? Feels like you're going to have to grind this one out.
Certainly. I mean, they're going to have to fight and claw for every inch you get. And I hate to say it, you're probably going to need a big play. And this offense hasn't been a big play machine by any means over the last year and 2 games.
You're going to need to find those explosives. And those explosive plays have been lacking so far, really, in Jonathan Gannon's whole tenure here. Those big explosive plays, I think they define them as 12 yards, 16 yards or more.
Yeah, I think it's actually moved up. I think it's 18 now.
They don't have many of those in the toolbox. They're going to need a couple of them on Sunday.
You need one longer touchdown or play to get you down to the 5-yard line and kickstart this offense. I wouldn't mind taking a shot on the first series of the game. I really wouldn't.
And I do think that if after this week, if we're having another conversation about the lack of consistency that you're getting from the rushing attack, don't you have to start considering giving it to the guy who's averaging 7.5 yards an attempt? Don't you have to start giving more of the carries to Trey Benson just to see if that can spark the offense?
I mean, that was a discussion we tabled because it was 1 week, right?
I think I'm gonna put it back on the table.
We might have to.
James Conner has 23 carries through 2 games. He's averaging 3.2 yards a carry.
I mean, did he look effective last week at all, really?
Trey Benson, 11 carries through 2 games. He's averaging 7.5 yards a carry, more than double what James Conner is giving you. And this is the reason why you drafted him, right? You drafted him to be the future at the position. Maybe the future is just needed a little bit sooner than you expected, but this is your entire identity as a football team. Could you imagine if in Baltimore they were struggling to run the football? It's everything they do.
That'd be a problem.
It's everything they do. It's how the quarterback plays. It's how Derrick Henry gets involved. It's how they open things up for Zay Flowers. It's how everything operates. Could you imagine if Cincinnati with Joe Burrow was struggling to throw the ball down the field? It would limit their ability to be successful. It's their identity as a team. The Cardinals' identity is running the football. And through 2 games, they have not been the group that they need to be. I wonder if it's another game where they struggle on the ground, James Conner in particular struggles, if we start to see more carries for Trey Benson. We may see more carries for Trey Benson starting on Sunday.
I was going to say, I would expect it to be this week.
I mean, James Conner, carry-wise, has outpaced him 2-1 so far.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Trey Benson get 15 carries this week.
That's maybe a buy or sell conversation for later on in the week, over the final 2 days of this.
Let me ask you this. What do you want to see from the run game? Is it numbers? Because we talked about it. The Niners do a nice job against the run. They always have. And if they come out with 4.5 yards a carry, I think I'd be optimistic.
That's worse than what they've done so far this season. That would be a step backwards.
Yeah, but you're not playing the Panthers and the Saints.
No, but if you couldn't You barely hit those numbers against the Panthers, who are good against the run, or who are bad against the run.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if I saw them this week give me 4.5 to 5 yards a carry against the Niners, you wouldn't be positive about that?
I don't know. I got to see what it looks like. I do. I need to see what it looks like. Are they doing that and it's part of a victory? Or are they doing it and it's part of a loss? If they lose the game and it's because they're unable to run the football against San Francisco, then they've got a major problem 3 weeks into the season.
I mean, they might have a major problem now.
I agree. James Conner's averaging 3.2 yards a carry. His longest run of the season is 12 yards. 12. Now, he's the only running back with a touchdown. He's averaging 36.5 yards a game. That's just not good enough. They need to be better. So I think it's fair to be concerned because this is the same group as last year. This is the part of this team that you had the most faith in, right? You worried about the passing attack. You worried about the defense with all the new pieces. The one thing you thought was going to be, I don't have to worry about it, was their ability to run the football. And through 2 weeks, they haven't been able to do that at the clip that I think we expected. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. One more before we are out of here today, the leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Head coach Brian Wright and the Lumberjacks are setting a new standard in Flagstaff.
Happy with our attitude, our effort, how we've come together as a football team.
Join us Saturday. NAU hosts the Incarnate Word Cardinals. Our coverage begins at 1 on your home for Lumberjack football.
Skips his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks.
The NAU Lumberjack Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back to wrap up today's edition of the Lunch Break here on KDUS AM 1060. Make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. If your chance to win 4 tickets, today's the last day, 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Phillies this Saturday, September 20th. You just got to be registered, logged in, listening on the app, and you're entered in for a chance to win those 4 tickets. Or you can get your tickets over at dbacks.com/SGT. The leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan puts them all together. Try to get through as many of them as we can before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour. So let's get to it.
Some NFL injury news. We'll start in Cincinnati. Today, Zach Taylor says that Joe Burrow, they are hopeful that he will not miss the majority of the season and will come back.
It certainly is going to depend on where Cincinnati is at. I don't think if Jake Browning and the Bengals play poorly while Joe Burrow is gone and there's nothing to play for, I don't think they're going to rush Joe Burrow back. But I do think if we get closer and closer to Joe Burrow's return and there is something worth coming back for, that's when Joe Burrow is probably going to try to push all of the buttons, pull all of the levers possible to get back sooner rather than later. So it's all going to depend on the way they play with Jake Browning under center.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we did it yesterday, kind of a little exercise with their next 6 games, and we said they could certainly go 3-3.
I'd like to point something out.
Yeah,
you have some accountability that you now you're allowed to do this. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I
really didn't think about it.
I was waiting for somebody to say something, and Matthew over on the YouTube said, "Messed up producer Evan is wearing a Phillies hat during a week our Arizona Diamondbacks are fighting for a playoff spot and playing the Phillies." Now it's your team. You're allowed to root for the team. And you're allowed to wear the hat, but just understand,
I'm going to get trolled.
And you know who you're going to hear from before the end of the week.
Yes.
So
yeah, 100%. Really kind of wearing that. They took 2 or 3 from the Dodgers last night. Rafael Marchand.
No. So you're going to a place that you don't need to go to. You don't need to defend your fandom. You were born and raised there. You're a fan of the team. But if you're going to wear the hat to the studio, and you're going to be on the camera, just know
I've opened myself up.
Right, exactly. And as long as you're okay with that, then I will have your back.
I'm certainly okay with it because, listen, this chat has come at me, and last week
they love you.
They asked a lot of questions about me. I went 3-0 this week.
A lot of press clippings about you going into the Pick'em segment last Friday. But okay, as long as you're okay with it. But it was addressed in the YouTube comments, so I wanted to at least bring it up here.
And I appreciate it being addressed. Listen, poor timing on the hat, certainly. Am I going to be better? Hopefully.
Okay.
Xavier Worthy, a full participant in practice today, hopes to play Sunday night against the Giants.
I mean, they need him back, right? I mean, they're just, with Rashee Rice suspended, they just need a second option in that offense to get themselves going. And they drafted Worthy in the first round to be that extra piece. And, Kelsey's still got something left in the tank, but I just don't think he can be a true number 1 every single week. I just don't think that's where he's at in his career. I just want to make a quick note here during the leftovers, and maybe we'll dive into this more over the next 2 days. Brock Purdy limited at practice today for the 49ers. Shanahan said, quote, "There's a chance," end quote, that Brock plays on Sunday.
That'd be bad for the Cardinals.
So just it is up in the air. He is a limited, not a full participant. He is limited at practice today, a chance that he plays on Sunday.
What does that mean for the Cardinals is the interesting question. Mac Jones looked good last week.
I still think the 49ers are better off with Purdy
Certainly.
Under center. I think because Purdy can do the off-script stuff.
Yeah. I mean, currently, and because it's in San Fran, the Niners are 1.5-point favorites. I wonder where that line moves.
That would
if
go to
Purdy plays. Is it 4.5?
I think it goes to just to 2.5. I think Purdy's worth a point.
You think that's it?
Yeah, maybe to 3.
I was gonna say 3.5. I think it's closer to 2 points.
Well, we'll see. If he plays, we'll see that line move potentially. But there's a chance he's limited in practice today. Kyle Shanahan just told the media that before their stuff got underway in San Francisco.
Speaking of the D-backs in the chat, they are often playing right now. Just got through the first inning. Nothing still.
Chance to go for a 3-game sweep of the San Francisco Giants. and to put pressure on the Mets, who play a little bit later on today. A win today gets the Diamondbacks just a game out of the third and final spot when the Mets first pitch between them and the Padres later on tonight. So Diamondbacks win. You can sit down later today, 4 o'clock, and enjoy some Padres baseball. Be huge Padre fans tonight.
You would have to imagine that this playoff race is going to, now it's D-backs or it's Mets, right?
With the Giants and Reds both losing last night to go to 3-back with 10 to play, the mountain does become much taller for those two teams. But if the Giants win today and the Mets lose, then it's two games. So it will depend. I think if the Diamondbacks win today and the Mets win today and it's 1.5 going into action tomorrow and the Reds and Giants are 4-back, yeah, I think you can say they're done with the limited amount of time that's left in the season.
That's just a big mountain to climb in 10 games.
Huge in 10 games to make up 3 or 4 games. Is that it? That's all you got?
That's all.
You're just going to allow the music to just be the buzzer for you?
Well, I mean, typically, I feel like that's what we've been doing. Sometimes. Well, every now and then I throw one at you with the music starting. You're like, whoa, giving me one late. So unfortunate timing on the wrap up. But on other times we've wrapped up, I've gotten criticism for finishing too late.
Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.